In the stillness before dawn, when the torches gutter low and the air tastes of salt and smoke, a strange thing happens in the Hall of Echoes. The water in the great basin, older than kings, older than the stars remembered by name, begins to move. Not by wind, nor by hand, but by memory. And in its ripples, a story forms. Once there was a boy called Michael of Felmore, born not with a sword, but with lungs like bellows and a heart that beat in rhythm with the tides. He stood at the edge of the pool of glass, where the water lay so still it mirrored the stars above. He was but 15, barely a page in the book of men, yet already chosen to swim before the world's gaze in the great games of Sydney. The court whispered, "Too young." The masters muttered, "Too soon." But his eyes, those clear, unwavering eyes, saw only the distance to the other side. He leapt, he swam, he finished 5th. No medal, no song, yet something in the water whispered, "Not yet." For every beginning worth keeping starts just short of victory. His teacher was Sir Bowman the Wise, a man who saw no glory in haste. "Strength," said Bowman, "is built one drop at a time. Each stroke you swim is a coin in the bank. One day you will need to spend it." So they trained when others slept, 7 days a week. When snow covered the fields, Michael still dove into the water. Each lap carved deeper channels in his body, each breath another promise to the unseen. And when the boy grew weary, the master taught him a secret spell. "Close your eyes," said Bowman. "Swim in your mind. See every stroke, every turn, every finish. Do it until the dream feels more real than the race." It was called the videotape, though no one knew what a tape was, only that it played again and again, shaping the swimmer's soul. This was the first note of the Kaizen song, the art of becoming better by the smallest degree, of turning ordinary habits into quiet miracles. Years passed, and Michael's fame grew like the dawn breaking over still water. But light always invites its shadow. At the World Games of 2003, he was defeated by Sir Crocker the Swift. In his chamber, he hung a painting of his conqueror, not in bitterness, but as a mirror of resolve. "Each time I see him," he whispered, "I will remember what must still be learned." This was his first true battle, not against another man, but against complacency, that silent thief of greatness. Then came the great games of Beijing, where gold shimmered like sunlight on water. It was there in the 200-meter butterfly that fate tested him most cruelly. Midway through the race, his goggles filled with water. By the final lap, he was blind. The crowd roared. The world held its breath. But Michael did not panic. He counted every stroke, every breath, every turn, exactly as he had seen them in his mind 1,000 times. And when he reached the final wall, he struck with perfect rhythm. He could not see the finish, but he knew it. When the water stilled, the mark beside his name shone brighter than any before. World record, gold, victory through faith in preparation. But triumph is a fickle crown. When the torches dimmed and the crowds departed, silence filled his halls. The golden laurels turned to ash in his hands. After the Games of London, he lost again by 5/100ths of a second, a single heartbeat. And with that loss came a deeper wound. For years he had built his fortress of flesh, but his spirit's foundation cracked. The world saw medals, he saw emptiness. He sank into shadow,
where the water grew cold and still. In the year of his darkest winter, after a night of reckless wandering and sorrow, he entered a place of healing, not a palace, but a quiet refuge, a monastery of minds, where wounded warriors came to mend what swords could not touch. There he learned that even dragons can drown, and that asking for help is not surrender, but rebirth. He found his old master again, and the two rebuilt not his body, but his purpose. Bowman said, "You have always chased the what, now seek the why." And Michael understood. The why was not medals or crowds. It was the joy of movement, the rhythm of water, the peace of becoming better, even by one breath. He vowed to live a life of no regrets, to swim not for victory, but for truth. 4 years later, in Rio del Sol, the knight returned, not as the same man who once sought gold, but as one who had found himself at the bottom and risen, stronger and whole. In the 200-meter butterfly, he faced again his rival, Chad of Close, who had once stolen his crown. As the race neared its end, Michael remembered the glide that had cost him victory in London. No gliding, he told himself, no hesitation. And with a single decisive stroke, he struck through the water like a blade of sunlight. He touched first. He smiled, not with triumph, but with peace. When his journey was done and the torches burned low once more, the old knight sat beside the pool that had begun it all. Children gathered to hear him speak. He told them of fear and failure, of patience and practice, of the strange magic called Kaizen, the art of changing not the world, but the self, one small stroke at a time. Greatness, he said, is not a mountain to conquer, but a river to cross. You do not leap it, you learn to float, to swim, to trust the current you have built with your own hands. He smiled at the reflection in the water, the boy he once was, waiting on the other side. The surface rippled, and for a moment the two were one, the boy and the man, the dream and the deed. The river remembered, and the hall of echoes fell silent, save for the soft, eternal rhythm of water finding its way home. Thus ends the tale of Michael of the 1,000 strokes, the swimmer who taught time itself to breathe. Moral: no matter your battle, whether dragon, storm, or self, move forward, one stroke at a time. For even the smallest effort, done faithfully, becomes a tide that carries you toward greatness.